So anyway, so you could let's tell our friends and family what we are doing today.
Okay.
What we are working on today.
What we're working on today, and Tessa and I, we really know this is working. We don't share a self-care if it's not working, if we don't go through it. And then we are going to today introduce about power of writing down.
That's
It's a
right.
self-care. Some people are just like, writing down for self-care? Yes. You know what? If you guys stay with us, be with us a self-care show today, you will know why the power of writing down is self-care, right?
Hi,
Because
Carla.
it's be working for us, self-care. As a self-care, power of writing down. I am pretty sure some of you guys in here, they do know what we mean, right?
I'm
So,
sure they do. I am sure they do because we always talk about it on the Morning Blessings. We talk about it on your show. We talk about it on Yuko on a Journey. We talk about it on the Tessa Marie show at night. So
yeah.
what we're trying to do is, it's somebody said to me, "What are you guys doing today?" And I said, "Drop in to see." She said to me, "Are you guys having to find it hard to get topics?" I said, "Of course not. Hello,
Of course
Albert. How
not.
are you?" Of course not. I said topics are flowing from us all the time. So and
Yes.
she said to me, "Really? I think from now you guys will be fed up with what you're doing." I said, "Self-care is a thing that we do. Self-care is every
Yep.
day, every minute, every second of every day.
Yep.
Self-care is astonishingly beautiful. Self-care is so many different things. So we us two ladies, we have always practiced self-care in that way. When you take your things and you write it down, you leave room in your mind for new things to come. So that you could tell them a little bit more about that.
The power of writing down
Yes,
too.
give them a little bit more.
Okay. It's first things, it's power of writing down. It's self-care. We don't, we
Hi, Angela.
always do share something about you guys tip with how.
Tripping on
And
my
something you can do right away, something it doesn't cost much money, and then writing down. If you have pen and paper, write it down. And you know what? How many thoughts we have a day? You remember that? You remember like Tessa and I, we always talk about how many thoughts it come up our brain. 60,000 to 70,000 a day, right? And then just so many thoughts. You don't even know, like you've been repeating same things. And then there are few or hopefully 100, you will have a right thought for yourself. Very positive one, makes your life better. So that's why it comes, you have to write it down. It's a power. You have to let your thought out of it. Once you write it down, it's not messy anymore. It might be messy at the beginning, but as you write it down and you start to notice what your desire about. I don't say want, right, Tessa?
No, we don't use want. When we're looking for something, it's a desire. And desires come from within you. Your desire is deep within you.
Yeah.
And if you want is out there. Want is, oh well, I'll maybe get it. I maybe will not get it. And I look at want as a bottomless pit. It has a hole. So the more you say you want, the more it drops into the ground and it disappears down the rabbit hole. It doesn't happen. But the desire comes from within. The desire comes and it moves into your heart.
Yeah.
And when you have a desire, it's like when you're looking for a lover, when you're looking, you desire this person, and that's all you can think of. That is what each of your passions should be.
That's
when
right.
you write it down, you can write about it. You can put the pen to the paper. And look at how Yuko is showing these things. And I have been doing that forever. I love writing, and I write in cursive. So everything is, when I write and it's almost like my letters are rolling into each other. Yeah. So I love that. So when I put put my desires or the plans that I have down on paper, they're purposefully done.
Yeah.
That does not mean that we write it once and then we walk away. We might come back tomorrow and refresh it.
Yeah.
We'll give it something else to do.
Like,
That will say, okay, let's make it wider.
Yeah. Like
And that's why you go is showing that page. Those pages is to show you when you put it down on paper, it's important. But there are little tricks we have that we use. I'm going to tell you, when you open that book, who does the book belong to? Who is the owner of that book? Who is it? Say who it is. So on the first page you write,
That's so true.
Yes,
First page, yeah.
January 5th, 2021. And the time and where I am.
Yeah.
Where are you at that moment? You will forget in 10 years where you were when you wrote this thing that has all come true.
It's
and
important to put the date. You're right. Yeah.
Go ahead, you go tell them about the magic of it all.
Magic of writing down?
Yes, the magic of writing down.
But first of all, don't you like it? Life is beautiful. I know. Okay, this is one of my notebooks. I've been going through so many notebooks because I've been writing down. And at first, when I started, it was scary. And then I wasn't sure, but I just like, you know what? I heard writing down is the way to go up, first step for your desire, right? So that's how I started. It's magic is, what do you want me to share? Like, you want me to share
okay, so you
can
tell them, it's when you go to choose your journal or the book you want to write, not a journal, the book you're writing, your wants, which you people use, but I'm going to say your desires, your dreams, your goal, your accomplishments to be in the moment. When you go to get that book, you must romance the book. Everything has to be loved. So if you don't just walk in the store and pick up the first book and go, oh, okay, cash, it's $20, I'll take it. No,
I
don't
grab it, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah, you have to touch it and caress the book.
I look through it.
Pages.
Right?
Yes, and touch those pages. Look at the pictures. Do they reflect you as a person?
Yeah. And I talk to the notebook.
Yes,
Let's go home.
You have to.
I will take you home.
I'll cherish you.
Cherish you too, right?
I have special pens that I.
Oh yeah, you do. Yes,
I do. I didn't bring them out, but I use Mont Blanc. I have 2 of those, and they're gifts. My daughter Vanessa bought me one. My son Michael bought me one because I love pens. I love heavy, and Mont Blanc is heavy. And when you write it, so you have to tell the book, I'm going to use a special pen. Yep. Everything has to have that connection. And people say you're talking to a book. Yes, you have to talk to your possessions. You wanted them, you desire them, you have them. So
this is you too. This is part of you.
It is. It becomes you.
Yeah. It becomes me. You're right. The pens, everything you own, it becomes you. So why don't you write it down? It's part of you. You just transfer to part of you to this beautiful notebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have this thing that we ask you to do. When you write it down, and at first when you're writing it down, you're not being particularly specific. You might be a little bit saying to yourself, well, I desire that. And if you look back, you will say, I want. No, you change that to desire. Or I would prefer to have. I prefer to do this. I prefer. You use words that form from the top of your mouth there.
That's interesting.
You don't go to the words that are deep in the throat. They're too deep.
I don't want to cut you off, but when you explain, it was so impressive. And I started paying attention to what I said. We don't say, right, Taran, Hiroko, Pallavi, we don't say budget. We don't say want. We say instead of budget, we say spending plan.
So you write it down.
Instead of saying want, we say desire. Like we started paying attention to the words, but all the words coming back to us. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
So
have
sorry,
to.
sorry to catch. I wanted to just explain to everybody.
No, that's great. I love it. That is how we have to do it. We have to
Yeah.
feed off each other.
Yep.
You have a string, and I'm supposed to catch it and pull it, and you take it back. And that's the magic of the self-care show. We teach people how to live, how to cooperate, how to understand each other, and we share. There's no it. Our self-care show is like the 5 pillars of prosperity. We are both equal. We just feed off each other. And the thing about it all is that we love it. So when you want to go in, just cut me off. Who cares?
Thank you so much.
But
Because
let me tell
I
them
know, I know.
when I first started writing, I always
Yep.
wrote. And my mom was a list maker, a writer. She would always write a little list of what she has to do today. And then, of course, my dad being an architect, everything had to be written. So I grew up in that type of household. But what really, really shocked me was when at school, they got us to watch the movie with Yul Brynner being Pharaoh and Charleston Heston being Moses.
Mm-hmm.
And in that movie, they said those words. And he said when he had the Israelites making bricks with clay and straw, and there was a team of slaves, Israelite slaves, that were collecting straw. So when Moses came and shook the apple cart upside down, Pharaoh got angry. So he said to the scribe, the guy's writing the thing down in the
Yep.
tablet of stone or whatever, and he said to him, "No, you shall make the same amount of bricks. But you, that team that was making the bricks, you have to now go and gather the straw." Because Moses came and shook him up. So he said, then he turned to the scribe with his coat flinging this way. And he said, "So let it be written, so let it be done." And I went, wow.
Wow.
That just took me
Yeah.
16 years old. And that just took me into it. And I'm thinking, so if you write it down, so because this guy is writing it down, I took it literally. I didn't stop to think. I'm 16. I'm impressive. So I said, okay.
That's something. Yeah.
So I am going to practice that. What I desire, of course, in those days, I used the word want. What I want,
Yes.
I'm going to write it down. And honestly, there hasn't been anything that I desired in my life that I wrote down that I didn't accomplish. I am not saying to you, it came next morning. It took time. It took action.
Yeah.
I had to take action behind those wants at the time. No, their desires. But I took action. I took purposeful action. I took planning. The spending plan was one of those things. So that's what I did. And that's where that came from. So just in case you want, for me anyway.
I love the story. Actually, I've watched the movie once. I have to watch again.
You should. That part alone is worth watching it for.
Actually, yeah, you bring.
Hi, Marina.
Yeah. He's same as birthday of mine too. That's how I remember him.
Oh.
His birthday is July 11th.
Oh, I see.
Why do
there
I
you
know
go.
that?
There you go.
There is a connection right there.
Yes.
But I do believe now it's really believe. Like write it down, the power of writing down. And then Tessa said, and I really agree, when you write down, you have to put your emotion into it.
Oh, yes.
Right emotion.
Oh.
Don't be afraid. It's easy to say, oh, I'm not quite sure I can do this, but I write it anyway. I understand, but you have to switch. You have to tell yourself, this is, it's like it's a, how does it, present sentence, past sentence. It's already done. Write it down as if already happens.
Yes.
And believe yourself. Believe it. Believe your
Put
words.
faith behind it and believe.
Put the faith behind it.
And emotion.
Yeah.
My husband used to tease me, and he said he didn't plant a seed in the garden, but he said to me, when those plants are growing because they're afraid of you. He said, you put them in the ground. God. I am watching you. He said, and you're saying, you better grow. He said, I don't say that. He said, no, your action says grow or else. I put so much emotions in everything I do. If I'm cooking, it's the same thing. Everything is extra. And I don't know. I was made this way.
No. agree. I'm sure so many of you guys here, they do agree 100%. When I cook, every chop, every time I peel, every time I
Yeah.
stir,
Oh, yeah.
I put the love and just like, it's better be good.
It's
It's
better
just like,
get,
it's, you
and
guys
maybe
gotta
some
be
wine
good.
will help. Push.
Hi,
Some
Carolina.
for the sauce and 10 drops for me.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
put, and then like, you have to put emotion. Like, otherwise, it's like, if the food is not good, you can tell the difference. You can
of
tell the
course you
difference when you
can.
put it in your mouth and just like the people had the cook or chef or us, we put emotion to it.
You
We put
must
the love
have
into it.
emotion. You must. When you're writing the
Yeah.
story of what you want to become,
Yes.
make it interesting.
Make it interesting.
When you put your pen to the paper, you should
Yeah.
see the imprint on the other page. That's emotion going into it.
You
That's
gotta put
work.
like that.
Take your time. Sit down with a cup of coffee. Sit down with a cup of tea, a glass of
Yeah.
wine, a dram of scotch, just a dram of single malt, whatever is going to be your pleasure.
Yeah.
Just sit down
Make it
and
special.
make yourself comfortable, and close your eyes and put yourself in
Yep.
the moment of acquiring that which you desire. And then begin to write. Remember, put your name on the page, the date, the
Yeah.
time, and where are you? Where are you sitting to do this? I'm sitting in my living room, you can say, in my house, so I don't know, do your thing.
Yeah.
I will talk and I'll say, today I'm writing this. It's 9:15 in the morning. It's snowing outside. So I decided to put the fire on, and it's the date is there, of course, and I'm writing my desire, and I put it down. Every day I have a plan for tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's what it is. So
Yeah.
that's what you have to do. It's a self-care, because when you take that emotion, that thing you so desire, if you just have it in your head and you're going, da, la, 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 one day I'll do this, but you know what, I desire to be this rich human being, I desire to have a beautiful garden, I desire to cook this amazing meal for my family,
Yeah.
and you just
But
keep,
that's
all those
yeah.
things are in your head, they should drive you to drink. You have to take them and make them a reality, put them on paper.
And then
Remove them
yeah,
from the
by
clutter in your mind and give them air to grow and to bloom. So
that's not you have to treat yourself good.
you
If
do.
you just like, you're not tasting it, you're not engaging it, you're just like, oh, I gotta write, oh, I got so many things to do. Like, are you treating yourself good?
But
No.
they look like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, going like a rabbit. Yep, like, oh my gosh, oh no, it's time to go, right?
Yeah, it's time to go. I'm late.
Yeah.
I'm late. No,
Yeah.
calm down.
No. And then you know what? If somebody else treats you that way, I'm sure you get upset, right?
You
That
think,
person, they don't listen to me, when I'm talking, and they're just playing the phone, not pay attention what you're saying, what you're doing. You get upset. And why you do it to yourself? You have to engage yourself, and the writing is one of the things, because you have 60, I like this, 60,000 to 70,000
thousand thoughts
thoughts
every day, and they're
every
the
day.
same from yesterday.
Yeah, and then you have to catch the right one, catch to your notebook and pen, and like Tessa said, write it down, so like the other pages you can just see through, right? You can just kind of feel it.
Yeah,
You have to put your
put it
emotion
in
to it.
there.
Yeah.
Everything you do has to have emotion.
Yep.
If you don't do it, self-care is not worthy. You cannot keep walking through this world with no aim, no purpose, no direction,
Mm-hmm.
no plans. Come on, man. That's not going to help you. The point of it all is to have an action. What am I
Yeah.
going to do about this today?
Action is so
And
important.
you
Yes.
know when something is truly yours.
Yes.
It does not leave you. You feel it, you hear it, you try to ignore it, it trips you, you're talking to somebody and then you're lost in thought, because this thing is saying you need to take care of me, you need to give me some love, I am yours. But
That's so
don't
true.
talk.
Yeah. Because how many times we just like, oh, I have a good idea. Oh, I need to do this. And because we're not writing down, 5 minutes later, what was it? I
It's,
forgot.
it's even worse when somebody else takes that idea and use it.
I know. It's just like
That is
it
coming
like
to a
it
brand
that's
new
so true.
section of
Yeah.
this, of writing things down. That book is special. What you have written down in that book is absolutely personal and special, and your desire and your preference, everything about you.
Mhm.
So prying eyes should not be looking at it. You don't share those goals and those desires and those plans with someone who will tell you you're stupid. You wouldn't do this. You're not good enough. You're too short for that. Really? You think you, with that little bit of education you got, can do this? No, don't share it. That
Don't
is,
share. That's
do
so
not
true.
share it.
And then I've heard because it's negative energy, negative comments, negative somebody's opinions, it's easier to get in. We tend to let in easier, and
It
that
is.
discourages us. So your dream, not dream, your desire is your desire, not somebody else's desire, right? And then you can share it once you feel more stronger, once it comes true. This is what I wrote down. Keep
Yes.
it to
I
yourself,
wrote it down.
even if like
Wrote it
friends
down
and
10
family.
years ago.
Yeah.
And another thing too with those things, there's a thing that I keep hearing. Don't tell me, show me. Show me.
Show me. I like that.
Me. That don't tell me what you're going to do, just show me. So you have to take it and say, okay, I'm not going to tell
Yes.
anybody. I'm going to show them I can do this. I'm going to show them I can succeed. I'm going
And
to show them I'm going to be this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show them that I am successful at what I chose to do for myself. So
yeah.
that's why your desire should be in a special book,
Yep.
managed in a special way, reverence given to it, care given to it. What you
Hmm.
love stays with you. What you love stays with you. A human being to
That's
paper,
yep. Yep.
whatever, it stays with you. So those desires that you're writing down, hide them from the negative energy of others. We know
Yeah.
that. So don't go around the world saying to your friend, I can do this, I'm going to do this, and then you don't. And 2 years later, your friend is doing it, and you go, well, that was my idea. Well, who knows it was your idea? What did you
That's
do about it? What actions or steps did you take to make your
yep.
idea a reality? You gave it away.
Yeah.
You spoke too soon.
You have to own it.
Yes.
You have to gotta nurture it. You own it. You nurture it. Right. You give up love. Right. It's that's this is from you. From you. It's
Yes.
everything comes from you.
Yeah. It's
Self-care.
yours.
You gotta take care of yourself.
You know, I wrote some things outside. I know I
Yeah.
was in the garden because it said it. And that little red book, hardcover, I had about 12 things written on there. And
12
I wrote
things.
it
Okay. Yep.
July 31st at 2 p.m., 2001.
2001. That's like
Yes, I had all of
20
those
years
things.
ago?
I had all of those things that I wanted. How much, well, because you guys have to give me a break on this. Money is
Okay.
my game. That's what I'm trained to do. I come from people that decide you have to have wealth. So that's my whole thing, right? That's my DNA. It's in my blood. Hence my name, Shillingford, right? So they were actually money lenders. So, I mean, let's leave that alone. So I had all these desires written down
Hmm.
in order of importance, and there was about maybe 11. And I had the book there, and I was writing NaNoWriMo, and I wanted a place to write the characters of the story, what they were doing, who they were, and that. So I just grabbed the book from it,
Hmm.
and I took it, and I found a blank page, and your mind is going. So you need to do this right away. So anyway, the book was on the table, and my brother from England that always comes on the show. He's slim. He used to
Yep.
be so slim. They would call him Master Slim. He was so skinny and tall. So he came to visit, and the book was on the table, and he opened it, and he's flipping. Brothers are so inquisitive, and he started, and he looks at this list. He said, "Whoa."
Yeah.
He said, well, I know you acquired one thing on that list. And I go, what list? I will go in the kitchen. Our family, the kitchen is where everybody comes to congregate.
Okay.
So I came from the stove area and I ran to the other side. I said, what book? I grabbed the book. You never know what I would write, right? So I said, okay. And then I look at it. I said, oh, I forgot this. And he said, everything. I said, yeah, everything. He said, well, I know you got one thing. And I said, what's that? He said, your car. Because I had written, when I retired, I wanted a luxury car and I wanted
Yes.
cash for it. So I did that. And he said, so what about the other 9 things? And I looked at it and I went, oh, everything. I wrote them down. And if you look at the other pages, there were action plans to do that. Each item was given a page after that. And what can I do to make sure this happens?
Yes.
So
action
I
plan is so important.
which I
Yes.
followed.
Yeah.
So that is how it works for me all the time. You cannot just write it down, turn your back and walk away. It's not enough. Say, pa, it's just not enough.
No.
You have to do better than that.
Yeah.
You have to say, okay, I would like to do this. If it means you need to go to school or you need to do that or you need to train or you need, everybody comes and they said, I want to lose weight. And I said, well, what are you doing about it?
Yeah, like I heard so many times, it's summer is coming or summer is here, or it's COVID, things is going to be pandemic's over. I gained so much weight sitting around. I want to lose weight. What are you going to do? What's your action? What's the next action?
You wrote it down. So now what's your action plan? What it is you can do. So that's why writing is important. You wrote it down. What is your plan?
Yeah. What is your plan? That's so important. You have a desire, right? Write it down what you desire. And next step is what's your action plan?
Yes.
Right? What can you do right after? It's just not like week later, not year later.
Immediately.
I'm a 1%,
if you don't know,
1% action coach.
Yeah,
what can you do?
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
What can I do? Can I Google about this? There's Dr. Google. Everybody goes to Dr. Google or whatever.
I know. Dr. Google is so much good. So good.
You know, or can you phone Yuko and say, Yuko, how did you do this? Or somebody who has done something you want to do. And you ask, how do you do this?
Somebody's already figured it out, right?
Yes, because there's always somebody. It's all figured out already. You do not have to invent the wheel again. The wheel is round. So go to the person who invented the wheel, the person you know who started that and succeeded, and say, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And if that person is not willing to show you how, jump to the next one. Just keep going. You have
so many choices.
Yes.
Don't get discouraged because the one person once said no. You got means when somebody says no, means you have a chance to have another door. Open another door.
Yeah, somebody said, when I asked somebody from Movement Makers to help me sort something out, the person waved down and said, you'll figure it out. And I went, wow, what's your point? Thanks for helping. And then I said to myself, okay, on to the next. I said, do you know how to do that? She said, sure, I do. And she told me, and then we have this relationship, this friendship.
I know. You know what? Thank you for trusting me. Even if I wasn't sure, I just we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. So do not, when somebody says no, remember there's somebody that's going to say yes.
Yeah.
There's
don't get discouraged.
Somebody that will say, I can show you. I don't know, but I think between Yuko and I didn't know. But she said, you know what? Tessa Marie, let's see if we can figure it out together. And from that day on, our core word when we're doing so many things we've tried is, we'll figure it out, right? We'll figure it out. And we are convincing each other that we'll figure it out.
And we were sure. We were sure, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we have to figure it out. We didn't doubt our ability to figure it out. So when somebody says no, remember there's somebody somewhere who has to say yes. And believe that. Say, you know what? So you are saying
that's
no,
important.
but I know there's a yes somewhere here. I'm going to go until I find that yes. I want that yes. I need to have that yes. Because I need this information to succeed.
Yeah.
And to do better for Movement Makers. And that helped. It was a simple thing. I can't even remember what it was. But we got it, and here we are. And I remember when I remember saying to Evan that on one of the things, I don't know, it was on his gaming channel. I said to him, I'm going to start a self-care show. He said,
you went to his gaming channel?
Yes, I went there. You should. I don't know.
That's a great place to catch Evan.
Yeah, actually. It was 6 o'clock. My show comes on at 7. And I said, okay, I promised Zan that I would drop in. So I went in.
Oh my.
And then I said, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to ask Yuko to come with me. And then he said to me, oh, that's great. But you have to always get somebody when you're taking a thing like that, to get somebody that you can work with, who understands, and you guys get along, la, 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 la. He gave me the whole spiel. And I really liked it. And I realized his advice was really positive.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, you know, what can I lose? Guys, we're not going to, and here we are. Months later, here we are. And it's keep rumbling on. And every Sunday, we haven't left a Sunday, even when Yuko had a backup.
And then you get the help from Taran and Pallavi, and then I joined. And that was one of the fun self-care Sunday show too.
Yes.
Right?
It was great. So that's what I mean. So make your plans. Yep. Write your desires down, take an action plan. If your first action is to ask somebody for help and the person says to you, I'm sorry, I don't know, or you'll figure it out, which actually became our coin. We used the word.
Yeah.
Because the person said, oh, you'll figure it out. And Yuko and I said, okay, we'll figure it out when I ask you.
Yep.
So do not stop and say, well, I went to so-and-so for help and they said no. And they didn't help me. I'm going to sit in the corner and cry. Really, man? No, you can't sit in the corner and cry. Move it. You know what they will say? Get up and find what you can do. Move your, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes, very much. You have to keep moving. Well, I know you need a rest, but you know what? It's sucking your thumb and stay in the corner and cry. It's not cute anymore.
No.
It was cute maybe 2, but we're not 2 years old yet. And then like Tessa Murray's granddaughter, Kylie, she even just explores. She moves.
Did you see her dancing? She is wild.
She is wild, but she looks like having fun.
Oh, she has. We allow her to have fun. Like she came into my bedroom last night, and I have this bed that's, you put it in different positions.
Yeah.
I had it elevated back, elevated feet, and she climbed up in the middle and she sat. She took the covers, brought it to her chin because I had it. And I have a habit. I'm always like this, right? She has a habit like this. And she's sitting there. Her mom walking. When did she come? I said, I don't know. She comes up. So when she comes to me, I go, I look at her and I go, oh, here you are. The next thing she comes into the room, she goes, here you are.
I am so cute. You
have to keep trying. She tries to climb on everything.
Yeah.
She climbs everywhere. There's non-stop climbing in my house. We are always running like a wild wood. When they come to visit, when they leave, my house is completely upside down. And it's one tiny human. But we allow her to explore, to get to know herself. So you have to do that. As an adult, explore.
Yeah. Explore. You know what? And then today is write it down. Just write it down.
Write it down.
You have so many pages. Like just, explore, write it down, express yourself, get it out what's in your head and heart, right? And then it might be messy, but eventually it'll change it to the shape and your desire is going to be stronger. And you get used to like write it down. You get used to believe what's in there. I kind of think I believe in muscles, right? First, you're not comfortable. You don't have a muscle, desire muscle. You don't really have writing down muscle yet. But as you doing it every single time, you are training yourself to write it down. And then you training yourself to put the emotion into them. And you're training yourself to make you believe this is gonna come true.
Yes,
right? And that energy is so strong.
Then you get a muscle. It's like what Taran does with his clients, where he gets them to exercise and train and do that. It's you don't know how people says to me, oh, you love writing, you love reading, so for you all that is easy. It's not easy. It's easy to walk away and say, I do not want to do this today. But I have a commitment to self. And that commitment tells me, Tessa Marie, sit down and do what you know you have to do if you want to be successful. And that is when I sit and you write. So it's going to be difficult. You have never written in a sentence in a thing before. That's what you're going to tell me when I ask you to do it. But do it anyway.
Yes,
If
train
you put, even if
yourself.
you go, you put, I want to do, and then you realize you have one. Oh no, Tessa Marie says don't use one. So you cross one, you put desire, go to the next line.
Yeah,
I desire to be the best cook in the world. Write it down.
write it down. And then, like, you
Then,
remember Tessa Marie said, it's okay to be messy. You're not gonna share with anybody anyway.
no,
You
it's
have, you
okay.
can keep this book to
And
yourself.
even if somebody happens to know and see it, you can still just ignore the feeling of the critics. We get, you know,
Yeah.
how many times in a day I get criticized? Oh, your lipstick is too
You
red.
never get criticized,
I
Tessa
do,
Marie.
I do. Your
Never.
lipstick is too red. You wear too much makeup. You are jumping up and down. You should be retired and sit down. I hear so much things, so many things people say to me, and they
Oh my gosh.
and you wonder what do I do with it? I say, oh, you know, sometimes if I know them well enough, I use that word that starts with the F, and I go, yeah, and I go, oh, I say, you mean of all the things in this
Yep.
worldwide world that's happening out there, the best thing you want to talk to me about is my lipstick. Really, man?
Is
And you
that,
know
yeah, I
me,
know.
and you know me enough to know that I don't care. I will not change it. So why are you
I
wasting your
know.
breath on me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Use it for something
It's
else.
like pointless.
It is.
Pointless. It's unbelievable. And then I am pretty sure 10 o'clock in the morning on your street, you're the only one dressed like that and jumping up and down in the backyard. Who cares?
Can you see what I'm
Who
wearing?
cares? I know.
One of my
I love your
younger
dress.
neighbors said to me, the only person I know who gardens in a long dress is you.
Oh, me too. I do have, I don't know, I cannot really show, but I don't know. I have a long dress too.
I love dressing up to do everything, but that's
Like
my
me
desire.
too.
That's my choice, you know.
I got dressed too.
And I know it's odd, and a few of my friends have said to me, oh, this Tessa Marie, she's just too much. And
Yes.
I don't mind that name because I
Yeah.
know that I am. But let us go back to desires
Yes.
and writing it down. So here you are. You've written down for years. You want to have,
Yeah.
you desire a lovely car. You've written down for years, you want this beautiful home. You've written down for years, you want this amazing wife. You've written down for years, you want this handsome Adonis God Greek looking man. You've written
Yes.
down for years, you want all this amazing furniture in your house. And then once you get it, you ignore it. Then what do you think will happen? You want that nice car, but you keep it in the garage. You won't drive it because, oh no, I will not drive my nice car in the winter.
Because
So somebody
yeah.
once told me that, you mean you're driving this car in the winter? I said, hello. I
Yeah.
said, the
Oh
car
yeah.
by me, I bought this car. And if this piece of steel cannot take some snow, my body can
Yeah.
take the snow. Well, that piece of steel is coming out there too and have some snow. And that is what I said to them. So you wanted this beautiful woman. Now you have her. You're finding faults with all her imperfections. What is your point? Were you blind at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you think Adonis was not going to go south sometime? He will develop a punch. You know, his muscles might go north or east or south, wherever they go. Didn't you know that, man? So go back to the memory of why you wanted this.
Yeah.
All this beautiful home and this garden that you wanted, like my garden, I work with it. So now I always said I will enjoy it. So when you write those things down,
Yeah.
make sure that you spend time when you receive them to enjoy them.
Yes.
Remember, I had a friend who came into my office at the bank. I was having some personal problems with a staff member, and she knew about it, and she was a friend, and also I was her manager. And she came in my office, put her hands under her chin, shoulders on the desk, and she said, don't you just hate your job? And you know me, my father said, before Tessa does anything, she laughs, she smiles. And he said, the smile is deadly, especially when she takes a glass and she puts it like this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, so I looked at her and I said to her, no, no. But if I should ever come to that stage in my life where I hate this job or any job, I am going to find a chair, sit
Mm-hmm.
down, close my eye, and remember when I did not have this job, how much I desired it.
Yeah.
And that should take care
Love
of
it.
all the problems in the job. I should have realized
So,
this is part of the territory.
yeah.
There are mountains, there are valleys, there are successes, there are fruits, there's famine, there's
That's
feast.
so important.
And
Yeah.
I said, no, I'll just close my eyes and say, you know, Tessa, remember when you didn't have the job, how much you desired it. And then I'll stand up and go fight my battle. And
That's
that
so
is
true.
what you have.
You're gonna go back to the main reason, or like the
Yes, go back
beginning,
to, yes, go back.
right? Like it's go
Yeah.
back. I think that's why it's write it down is good, because when you read it back, because you put the emotion to it when you write it down, right? So you wrote it down 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, you
And then
decide.
when you back and read, and your emotions coming back.
Go back and find out why. Why
Yeah.
did you want this woman?
Yeah.
Why did you desire this man? Why did you desire this home? And now you neglect it. You don't cut the lawn. You don't make an effort to keep it decent. You don't appreciate the furniture. You abuse it. What's your point? You desired it. Enjoy it. Stand up in your home and go, I love my home. I love my life. There's nothing wrong with
feeling
that.
It. Yeah.
Always love where you are. When you're loving something that is not up in you right now, you're not concentrating on all the beautiful and amazing things that are in you.
That's so true.
That are right there.
Yeah. That's why when you do something, right? Drink coffee or drink wine or scotch, you have to feel it. You have to engage it. You gotta put the emotion to it. Like have a coffee and just like, oh, it's good coffee. You put the emotion to it. You feel it. That's so important. Because you know what? That's, how do I say it? Like, say this is like one of my experience. Okay. When I met my husband so many years ago, quarter century, more than ago. Okay.
Quarter century ago?
Quarter century ago. That's a long time.
That's old.
That's old. Actually, that day, and my friend, we used to live, we had a couple girls living in the house. And then she was we're like a bunch of early 20s. We were kind of, oh, what if somebody comes, a young guy comes and open the door, fix the water heater? Maybe we were kind of a little bit exciting. And then I just like, yeah, that would be so nice. And then when guy fixed, the water heater was broken. And and then when I opened the door, he was right there in front of me. It's just like, oh. But actually, he looked a little bit dirty. End of the day, you know, his hair was messy. He's got like the work clothes on. He just like, I'm here to take a call. I'm here to change water heater. I just like, okay. It's not like just, it's a Prince of Charming right there, right? Like it's just like a perfectly dressed guy. So I just like, okay, all right, I do that. And then, after that, it's, here we are actually. But every time, we've been married for so many years. So every time I sometimes have like, him, like this and that, I have the moment, I always go back to that day. I opened the door. He was right there.
And your heart went boom, 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 boom. And your heart was pounding in your chest like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, because I felt it, right? Actually, it was a little bit tiny, but I kind of felt something. I remember the moment. So go back to the moment. So that's why whenever you do something, feel it. Just, engage it. Even if, like I said,
yes,
have a sip of wine. Don't just like gobble it down. Have a sip of wine, taste it, write it down. You feel it one by one, right? The word by word. You put emotion to it. And then you can go back to when you have a bad day, when you have like sad moment, you open it, you read your emotion. Yeah. Coming back.
Yes.
Right?
So that's it's not that we're not done with you. So hang on with us. We have more to share with you. We always have more to share. Our stories are always true life stories. We tell you
It's a true story.
we tell you what we are going through. What we come to bring to you on Sunday Self-Care Show is because something we've tried already and we know it works. We
Yep.
just want you to have that fulfilled life. We want you to enjoy every day of your life and always find those moments in time that you can enjoy, because the moments in time are tiny.
Yes.
Moments are not 5 minutes. They're not,
No.
they're just a nanosecond.
There,
And
yes,
that
actually,
can
yes.
create your whole life.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
true.
what we want you to do is to understand what we love about living life. And we're sharing with you all the things that we think is the best thing for you. And maybe you will not get all of it, but you can take one of it. That's why Yuko and I always said, we started this in the morning blessings. We give a nugget, a black pearl, or a rare pink Canadian diamond. So there is one thing that you picked up from our 45 minutes of you or so this morning already that you can take. And maybe you are writing your things down. Maybe you're already doing this, but you haven't started taking action. So Yuko, you can tell them about your journey. Tell them how that started and just talk about that a bit. Yuko
What
on
journey?
a journey.
Oh, you go on a journey?
Yes.
Oh, that story. Okay. Because you know what story? We've talked so many stories or so many times. So I was like, okay, which one you want me to talk? Yeah, I have IG Live. It's called You Go on a Journey. And then first I thought it was like I told Tessa, I think it's gonna be title's gonna be Mentor Me because I can learn from everybody. I love learning. I can learn from just talking with people. And she's just like, do not, it's like mentor me, it's not good. So so just like, why don't you go on a journey? And as soon as she say that, whole vision is open up. And then I could see myself. I have a vision. I visit everybody. I visit the people I wanted to talk. And then it's just so exciting and listening through their conversation, through the experience. I can learn through the experience conversation, whatever they're going through, whatever they're just want to share what they want to do. And then just like, that's going to be fun. And then I am having fully fun.
But you see,
yeah.
you could, sorry, Yuko, I didn't mean to cut you, but I want you to align it with writing it down or sticking or doing something. So Yuko comes and she said, Tessa Marie, I want to do this, like she said, mentor me. And I asked, well, what? And then she's telling me. And then I said, well, you really want to know about them. So why don't you visit them? Everybody we know is from a different country. So pretend we're visiting their country. And you want to tell them about the country. And they will tell us about their life in the country, where they live, what country, what part of the world. And she said, great, that's a wonderful idea. But that didn't stop there. Yuko had an idea in her head to do that, to get people to mentor. I don't know. What she said to me did not sound like mentoring. It sounded like getting to know about people when she explained it to me. So she took a step and said, a thought came, you should do this mentor me thing. The second thought was, talk to Tessa Marie. She did that. So action. Did you notice her action?
Small action.
She took the action. She called me. That's what I mean by action. She called and she said, Tessa Marie, this is what I'm thinking. And the action was, and I said to her, well, no, why don't you call it You Go on a Journey? And the next day, the woman was on live doing You Go on a Journey. And guess who was her first guest? Me.
Tessa Marie.
Yes, of course, we are going on a journey. And it was fabulous. And this journey is going on and she's getting more. So a thought came. The second thought was to call me. The third thought was to tell me about it. She knew I would support her. I would always support her.
Thank you.
Then she knew that if I gave her a name, she can think. I said, why don't you call it? I didn't say call it. I said, why? And she thought of it, and I could see her face was moving. Her mind was going at 90
Yeah.
miles a minute. And I'm thinking, where is she going now? Because I know that brain of hers. And then she took off and she said, great, I'm going to do it. And I didn't know I was going to be the first rabbit in her bag. So the next thing I know,
First
she comes,
rabbit.
so do you want to be my guest? I go, what for what? Oh, for my You Go on a Journey show. I go, okay, all right, we're going there, are we? I'm the rabbit in the bag. And she took off. And she has collected so many fascinating things and conversations. I always drop in and listen. But everybody has a story to tell her, and she's learning.
Very much. And then I visited India, Pallavi in India. And then I found that me and Pallavi and we have common. We can talk to strangers. Like Pallavi said, I go to, say, bus stations, train station, whatever. I sit down and I can start making conversation with strangers. I'm the same way. You know, you never know. You never know when you visit and make a conversations. It turns into really fun journey.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But my son used to say to me, and my grandson does the same thing, do you know these people? Do you know them? You don't talk to them. I said, who said I can't? Yeah. So I start a conversation. Some people don't. They look at me.
I know, yeah.
And I don't care. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, that's it. That's how you start.
Yes.
It's a journey. Like, just, say hi, smile, and hi, how are you?
Well, yeah, my friend Corinne and I, when we used to go walking, because now she's hurt her leg, we'd be walking on the sidewalk, and people are coming towards us, and we'll go, okay, let's say hello to them. Hello, and they go, hello.
Some
just
people,
to get this reaction, we do it, and we start laughing. Grown women behaving like kids, and that's what we did. So sometimes you have to stimulate other people, and so now though, because of COVID, everybody goes hi. Everybody's greeting you. And so,
which I love to see the people. Oh my gosh, there's a people.
Yeah, he's a person, another human. And so you go. So what did you think of this? Let's check to see what these guys were saying about us today, or about our show today. Guys, we appreciate all of your time.
We're getting a lot of loves. I know that. Like, just get a lot of loves. And thank you. Dawn said, love these ladies. Have to go. Going for a motorcycle ride with my hubby. Dawn
is living the life of dreams. She is just amazing.
I'm sure she already on the bicycle now.
I'm sure she has already gone. She must be going to Michigan.
Yeah. Yes, over there. America is a holiday too, right?
Oh yeah, it's
called Independence Day.
Yes.
In the States. Hey, Rosita.
Rosita
is enjoying.
Tehran, of course, was here. Colleen, my friend, came. Dawn was here, and then we had
PG too.
Everybody, thank you for coming. Somebody's laughing away. Tiggy joined us.
I have some friends from Japan too.
Yes, I see that. Magical Boto joined us. Tiggy, and then who else joined us?
Alberta came from France.
Yes, and Angela came from Knoxville, I think, or I don't know where she's gone away.
Okay. And then Marina's from Toronto.
Yes. And
oh my gosh.
Aman is it India, Aman, or are you from Iran?
I think Aman lives all time zones.
Okay.
I don't think Aman sleeps.
Erica came, and then how are you, Tessa Marie? How are you, Yuko? We Magical Butter, we are just enjoying the very breath of life itself.
He knows. Alberto knows.
he knows we are wild, and so
sometimes we're a little bit offline, but we're just staying course. But
Pallavi's writing everything down. I give thanks in advance.
Yeah, Aman, you live, although Aman lives, I don't think he sleeps, or maybe there are 1,000 Aman in the whole world, because he responds anytime.
Hiroko joined us. Hiroko was here.
Nice.
But all of you guys, I hope the hangover was good.
hangover.
I hope you got over. Marina came from, as you said, from Toronto. The hangover was amazing. And so that's really amazing. Everybody
Oh,
came.
I thought
Carolina,
Carolina's here.
Azim, Joy, Rosie
And
came, Rosita came.
Taran was here too. It's so nice. He's usually busy on Sunday.
I know, and Drew was here, so that we had quite a lot of movement
Drew too.
makers,
Yep.
and love. Happy Chain was there.
Yeah, my friend
Yes.
from she lives in Mississauga too. So that's
Yeah,
nice.
and of course Marina had a lot to talk to us, tell us you know how she we are doing.
I know.
So I
Thank
hope
you.
you guys, all of you, you know how much we appreciate having you guys on,
But
and you
it's
know how
yeah.
much we look forward to tickling you and giving you something. So talk a little, send us a little message, and let us know, share it if you know somebody can enjoy that, or have something that would make it easier for them.
Very much. And
Yeah.
then you know what? The power of writing. You can do. I'm sure some people they already start doing it, and whoever maybe hasn't start doing it, I recommend do it. Like it's not too hard, and then all you need is maybe it helps if you have something to note. You can just feel it really help, and then pen, and that's all you need to start. Write
Yes.
it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you have the time, and if you have the get a nice book.
Yeah, that really helps.
Excuse me.
You're right. If it's a nice book, that makes you want to open it. That makes
Yes.
you want to feel it. Makes you want to write it down, right? So you know what? This is like from 2006. I brought the old ones, and then some of them I wrote in there. They already came true.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because you wrote them down.
Yeah, I wrote them down, and then that's good. I became
A man
life
said
coach to encourage women all over
yes.
the world.
A
That's
man
already
said,
said
thanks
that
for
too.
sharing your valuable thoughts, ladies. That is thanks, a man.
Thank you.
I'm glad you guys find it. That's the pearl, because a man just made it valuable. Something that's valuable is precious, like a nugget, a black pearl, a diamond. He made it valuable thoughts. I mean, that just gives us a boost. Thanks, man. We needed to hear those words.
Thank you.
Should we reread our desires? Yes, Pallavi. You can reread them. You have to, so that you can modify them. So you must reread them so you can modify them, because part of the desire has been fulfilled, and you need to take an action plan to make the other part become a reality.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you go over them and fix them. Make them more specific. Give them a little bit of an oomph. Say something about them that will make them, will give them a boost. It's like giving your plant fertilizer. So if you're growing a plant, Pallavi, your desires are seeds that you're putting in the ground. You have to give them sunshine. You must water them, and you need to add a little fertilizer to them.
Yeah.
So when you reread them, you're going to fix it, and you might take your pen, put it to your side, your face, and you go, you know what? No, I need to add this to it.
Yeah.
That's why you reread it. So Pallavi is asking a valuable question. So you guys, that if you have a question and you doubt what we're saying about writing, the effect of writing things down, I want you guys to try it. Try it for a year.
That's
and
so
see
true.
what happens.
Try. Yep.
Try it for a year. Because some goals are so big, they desire more than a year. Some goals, like my goal for getting the car of my choice, took a long time, but I had a date. I wanted it at retirement, and I got it at retirement. But at that time, I hadn't retired. It was years later I retired.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal might take 6 months. Some might take 3 weeks. Some might take a year. Some can take 10 and 15 years. But write it down.
Write it down and take
revisit
action.
it. Revisit and take action.
Give it action. Because it's like the world we live in, we don't have those how to say genie, like you just know the magic.
The genie.
We don't have one yet.
This is my genie.
I should bring my wine glasses. This is my genie.
Oh, it's too early for wine.
Okay. Sunday self-care. Okay. But anyway, that's why just, you know what, how we do it genie way right now is we write it down, we put the emotion to it, and then read it, reread it, and we nurture them, take action. So that's what we recommend that way too. It works. If it's not working for us, we wouldn't recommend it to you guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
These are tried and true.
Yeah.
These things that we're doing are tried and true. This Sunday self-care show these are the things that we have tried ourselves and our results, and based on our results, we come to talk to you about it. And that didn't mean that it always was perfect. It had, like just as what Pallavi said, should we reread our desires? Yes, we should. So some of our desires we modified, some of them we ditched, some of them we said, no, I don't think that's how I want it.
Yeah.
And so that is why you read it and you revisit it. So that's one of the things you have, Yuko, you have lots of bags. Give me one.
Come and get it. Come and get them.
Yes, man. I would love to see you with your man moose, not a person, man moose. Yuko can send you one. Yuko is the bag. She's the bag lady.
I am bag lady.
That's why I got caught in the bag like a rabbit. So anyway, guys,
yes.
It is 10:30. Wow, thanks for the amazing answer. Thank you, Pallavi. It's not really, it's, yes, you have to do this. You must do this. It's your dream, your desire, your goal, your plan. And a life without a plan is like a ship on the ocean without a rudder. It just goes. It doesn't know where it has to go. It is just going. So that's what you have to remember. And any storm will fit it. One of the things you have to do if you don't have a plan, you're putting an anchor in your life that will not help you. You must have a plan. So I'm lifting my anchor today and I'm going over with it. And that's what you have to remember. Take your anchor and say, you know what? I am anchored in this spot. I've been doing this for years and I am not getting the results I'm seeking. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to pull up anchor and try another pot.
I like that idea.
Yeah, because you're standing in this spot.
You're allowed to do that. Yeah.
And you're saying to yourself, I am stuck in this moment. And you know that. And you can feel you're not doing something. And so you say, you know what? I'm going to pull up anchor. I cannot there's no fish in this water. You're a fisherman. Life is a fishing journey. You're out there fishing. And you have these goals. And you're standing in this water. You're in this harbor. And nothing is happening. There's no action there for you. So what do? You pull up your anchor and say, okay, set sail. We're moving.
Yep. And we'll get another fish.
You're moving. You're going somewhere else where there's better fish. And
you'll find a fish.
Yeah. We can find another way to do this. And that's what it is. You're not reaching your goal. You're sitting there. You're in a job, for example, for 5 years. And you look at the situation and you know what? There's no path for success in this job. For me,
so that's the time you can pull your anchor?
Yes. I remember my daughter was at the bank at the time and she got headhunted and she wanted to leave. She was leaving. She brought it up to her boss. And her boss said, I don't want you to go. I want you to stay. And I mean, she's my daughter. She's an angel. She's kind. She's quiet. She's not like me. Jillian is not like me. She's more refined, I think. And she looked at him and she said, well, I forgot his name. She said, you want me to stay, but the position I should be in, you have it. So do you plan to die or when do you plan to quit?
She said that?
Yes, she told him. She said, your job is the next one for me. So you want me to stay. So I want to know when you plan to die or when you plan to quit. Which one it is. I need to know because otherwise I can't stay.
Good for her. Nice. Very
nice. That is not a man. That is my chimes. I've got this huge chime. I think it's about one of the things about 3 feet tall, long, and they're on the patio side.
Oh, nice. You have a chime.
So that's, I have several chimes. I have chimes at the front and I have chimes at the side.
I
So
like it.
it's windy, so you can hear it, and that's what you're
Yeah. Oh,
hearing.
I feel it. Like, no, I don't know, but your side is a little bit windy. I can
Yeah,
see
it
that
is.
too because like the
But
back,
remember,
the
the lake is just over there. I'm close to the lake.
that's so
So
true.
if it's choppy on the water, we will get some breeze up here.
That's okay. I
And
like to feel the breeze.
yeah, so it's nice in the sun, but it's so lovely and it's
Yeah.
breezy. And the garden, if all that rain, is just amazing.
Oh, very nice.
So
And then before you go, our friend Hiroko said she will do it. She will do
oh
it. She will just like I like your commitment, Hiroko.
yes, and
Let's
Yoko,
do
make
it.
sure you get a book that is truly you, a book that
Yes.
represents you.
Yep.
Fill the pages. Fill when I get my book,
Yeah.
I when I look for those, I I
You touch
fill
it,
the
feel it. Yeah.
yeah. And
I grab
there's
it.
one of the young ladies I mentor, Tanya. Tanya sends me a book every year,
Mhm.
and those books she knows me because she used to be my assistant. And when Tanya sends me the book, I know she knows how I look for the book. She sent me, so when she sends it, I can tell. I can tell she thought of me at the time because it's so much me. When I get it in, she sends it in the mail every year for my birthday. And when I touch the book, I can feel, and I know, and I would send her a note and say, Tanya, I really love this book. And she'll tell me, I understand. So
Yeah.
that is one of the things you must always try to do,
Yep.
is to choose your book with passion. Choose your book. Let's fill it,
Just
open the
feel it.
pages, touch the
Actually, I can
pages.
feel it. This is like a little bit, it's not flat. I
No,
feel
it's
the
of course.
flowers and I feel the word this book too.
To
So,
you, and then you open the book and you touch the pages, because
yeah,
that's where
it's like,
the pages must feel good to you, because
yeah,
that's
the
where your
pages
desires are going to be on.
very pretty too,
Therefore,
the
it
pages.
must represent you. So that's one of the things. Anyway, guys,
Okay.
we've been doing this for an hour and 20 minutes. One of us won't be able to speak again for today, and I have a funny feeling who it will be.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Oh.
so based on all of that, have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Sunday. And for
Yes.
all our American friends and followers, happy 4th of July for you.
Yes.
And I hope you have a wonderful, both of you the starting our days off, because
Oh
is night.
yeah.
Oh,
Over there is
you
night. So I trust you will have a great night
a
and
great,
great morning tomorrow because you watch our show already. So
and
you're
you
gonna have a
give
great
us
night
all, you're
dream.
there all for all that length of time. Times. What country are you in, Aman?
Amma must be in India too, right?
Is either India, I guess, maybe India. I don't know.
Yeah. I know Pallavi is in India.
Yeah, well, we know Pallavi is in India. Amen. So Pallavi said,
Oh,
"Here you are, right? Amen. Here you are, right, Amen."
Aman.
So,
Yep. Okay. Oh, India.
oh,
Yeah.
India. So Amen, it's bedtime, because oh yeah, it's bedtime. It's like
Yes.
something in the morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's morning time, is it? It's
I don't
early
know. India
morning.
is probably nighttime. Japan is nighttime.
Oh,
It's 11:40 p.m. in Japan. So
okay.
I'm sure some of my friends, they already went to bed.
Okay.
I don't know what the India maybe a little bit
It's 10 hours. I think it's 10
10
hours
hours. Well,
different.
Japan
Yeah.
is 13 hours, so it's
Yeah. So good night, everybody.
oh 8:10.
It's
Okay.
8:10. So it's still early evening. That is early for Pavali, because she comes to the 7 p.m. show. She has to get up and come on to the show when we were doing the
I don't think she sleeps.
I know. So there you go. So
Uh, yes.
talk to you guys later. Both
Yep.
of you, Aman and Pallavi, and all the other people that are on. We give you such a wonderful thank you. Merci beaucoup for coming
Arigatou gozaimasu.
and
Thank you.
all of that. And thank you.
I like the way you said it. Thank you guys. All
So
right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Tessa and I, we had great time as always because of you guys too.
So talk to you guys later. Have a
All right.
wonderful day. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody. And
Bye,
thanks for
everybody.
coming.
Thank you, Tessa.
Anytime, Yuko. Bye.